Alright, so the first thing I notice is that right off the bat, this guy is undefined at x equals to 0. Because 0 makes the denominator 0 here, this first one, and so you can't have that. So right off the bat, I know that. Now, if I'm trying to find the zeros, well, let's first things first. Let's get rid of the fraction altogether by multiplying by the LCD, which is 2 root x. And that's going to give me e to the negative x minus, if I multiply 2 root x times negative root x, I'm going to get 2x and then e to the negative x and equals to 0. Okay, now the next thing, well, I need to get rid of this e to the negative x, so why don't I just factor it out? And then what I would have left over is the 1. Make sure you don't forget the 1, the placeholder for this guy, and then minus 2x equals to 0. Now notice that this guy right here, this guy can't ever equal 0, and it's also not undefined. So we leave that guy out of the whole shebang. And so then from this guy, I just get that x is equal to positive 1/2. So that's my only 0, 1/2. And then I've got this guy where this guy does not exist. Whoa! So you might be wondering, what in the world is this? And where did this come from? Well, this is actually from a calculus problem that, we need to find the zeros and where this guy is undefined. And you might notice that it's not really simplified yet, so that would be a good first step. So let's see what we can simplify easily. Notice that these two right here, let me pick a different color. Those guys are exactly the same. So I can combine these into negative 2 e to the negative x over 2 square root of x. And then actually, might have noticed, well, you can just divide the 2's and they go away, right? Okay. And then this guy, I can't really do much with this guy, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Now this huge monstrosity, my goodness, let's deal with this guy. This guy, if I square it, I would get 4x. Here on top, we'll might as well just turn that into a single fraction. So here the LCD would be square root of x, so I could multiply top and bottom here by square root of x. And so then what I would get is minus 2 square root of x times square root of x, that equals to x e to the negative x minus e to the negative x, right? This guy right here, all over square root of x. Now, might as well multiply by this guy, this 4x here. If I write this as 4x over 1, and I bring it up, this is the same as multiplying by 1 over 4x. And I hate to do this to you guys, but why don't we just combine square root of x and, well, we don't have to do that. I'll just put the 4x right here instead of right there, just to make it a little bit cleaner looking. Okay, and then minus e to the negative x over square root of x, and then plus square root of x e to the negative x over nothing equals to 0. Now, I already know that this guy is going to be undefined. I just didn't write it earlier, at x equals to 0. So that was completely obvious from the beginning, because you can't have 0 on the denominator on any one of those. But besides from that, I'm good. So let me now get rid of all the denominators. So I'm going to multiply everything, both sides, by 4x square root of x. Okay, so when I distribute this guy, that's going to get rid of that one. So I'm just going to have minus 2x e to the negative x minus e to the negative x. When I get rid of this square root of x, I'm still going to have minus 4x e to the negative x. And when I multiply these guys, that's going to give me plus 4x, and then square root of x times square root of x, that gives me another x. So this is going to be 4x squared e to the negative x is equal to 0. Wow. Okay. So continuing with the theme here, why don't I get rid of the, if I divide everything, notice how there's an e to the negative x on everything. Let's divide everything by e to the negative x. Everything. And that's going to get rid of all of these. Now be careful with this one, that's still 1. So that's going to be minus 2x minus 1 minus 4x plus 4x squared is equal to 0. Now if you combine these two, you would get 4x squared minus 6x minus 1. Okay, now this guy, since it's not factorable, we're going to use the quadratic formula. Alright, so let's write down the quadratic formula. B squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so then we have 6 plus or minus the square root 6 squared, which is 36, minus 4 times a, which is 4, c, which is negative 1, all over 2 times 4. Okay. And so then we get 6 plus or minus, this is plus 16. So this is 36 plus 16, which is 52, and all over 8. And I'll just leave it like that.